Vanilla the Rabbit, the Sonic the Hedgehog character that has been completely forgotten about. But there's no way she's the most forgotten. What about Bark, Bean and Fang from the niche game Sonic the Fighters? Or even Mighty and Ray from the even nicher Sega Sonic the Hedgehog? She can't be the most forgotten Sonic character. Sorry, hold on a second. Hello? What's that? They all made a comeback? Change of argument, I guess. What?! How did these two bozos get a new appearance? They're just Sonic reskins. They don't deserve it. Have you played as Ray in Sonic Mania? He sucks! When it comes to characters being excluded from an appearance for this long, there's no stranger case than Vanilla the Rabbit, especially since she's one of the only characters we see in the games that is a parent, and not just a parent to some rando kid, but Cream the Rabbit, a character who is pretty prominent in the group of Sonic friends. Why did Sega completely rid a child of her mother? Out of all the suspiciously underage Sonic characters, the one that acts her age has a parental figure. Cool! Where has that parental figure been for the past 17 years? Also, check out this article I found on the top 17 most forgotten Sonic characters. Vanilla is placed literally nowhere, but her daughter is on here. Either she is more recognizable than an actual playable character, or she is so obscure she doesn't qualify. Okay, you know damn well. It's strange, right? She has still consistently been there, in spirit that is. She has this kind of status thanks to Cream mentioning her, or her being mentioned in relation to Cream throughout her years of absence. So, excluding all mentionings, Vanilla the Rabbit has appeared in 3 games. 3. So, why does she need a comeback? Please? Please, can she come back? Please? Please? From the span of 2002 to 2005, we got Sonic Advance 2, Sonic Advance 3, and Sonic Rush, the only appearances of Vanilla. And I'm talking about a physical appearance, not those crusty JPEGs. This one doesn't bloody count. This is from Sonic Advance 3. Starting with Advance 2, Vanilla was introduced alongside her daughter Cream. She is kidnapped and that serves as the driving force for Cream to be a playable character. This is arguably her most significant appearance, and I've described it all in a single paragraph. She later appears in the 2004 sequel for like 2 cutscene frames. I don't know, that game sucks and it isn't important whatsoever. It sucks ass probably, I haven't played it. And finally, her biggest appearance yet. Not only does she get her own speaking role, but she's also given her own 3D model. After all these years, she finally joins the 3D transition club with the rest of the gang. This does not count. Yes! We did it! Yes! We talked about all her physical appearances! Wait! No! 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 That's right. Vanilla isn't even a filler party game character. You know, those characters that exist almost exclusively to pad out a roster or support a dynamic for another character. Where is that treatment? Sonic is! She is so significant that she even appears in one of those Japanese exclusive eye catch bumpers. Those little panels that appear before commercials. Put a pin in this. In the show itself, she doesn't really do much. But in a Season 3 episode, she helps Chris Thorndike get into space to fight the Meta-Rex along with Sonic and friends. Vanilla doesn't appear until about 40 episodes in, yet she still has importance, as Cream's conflict in the anime is strongly linked to missing her. It's weird that her not being there has the biggest impact on anything she has involvement in, either in the story or how the characters behave. But only when it's pointed out is when it becomes something important. Sonic Advance 2, Vanilla is kidnapped and Cream is motivated. Sonic X, Vanilla and Cream are separated and Cream is sad. The Metal Virus arc in Sonic IDW, Vanilla becomes a metallic zombie and serves as the catalyst for Cream's angst depression for about 5 issues. What the Vanilla's status in the selected media determines what Cream is like, and that is one of the coolest aspects about both characters. But Vanilla has to be mentioned in order to have influence. Vanilla is nowhere in Sonic Heroes and Cream is just fine. It kinda ties into Vanilla's main characteristics. She has 3 notable aspects. She's a mother. This ties into the second one, that she is Cream's mother. We know this because Cream tells us in each game featuring Vanilla, and every single available character bio post-Rush. Her third trait that really surprises me is that the leader of Team Chaotix, Vector the Crocodile, falls in love with her. Kinda silly, don't you think? It should have been me, not him! It's not fair! when a freaking Chow gets a 3D model before you? She didn't even have a piece of character art until 2018. The Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter account celebrated Mother's Day by posting an image featuring Vanilla and Cream in the iconic Yuji Ikawa art style. However, this image of Vanilla was not completed by Yukawa, although it is based on a sketch he made during the production of Sonic Advance 2, circa 2002. It only took until Mother's Day 2018, and another Sonic artist, Kieran Gates, to finally give Vanilla the Rabbit an official piece of character art. Seen this image before 2018? You're actually thinking about this fan-made piece. Where did this art come from? This is from 2004. Who made this? Was anybody notified about how this recently introduced Sonic character that has appeared in the games did not have any piece of promotional or character art? I have no answers. Only questions. It seems like something that would have been noticed, quickly finished up, and shoved into an archive just so it could be posted on Twitter for Mother's Day 14 years later. Okay, I've talked about Vanilla, I've talked about her status in the franchise, and I've talked about her lack of video game appearances. But is she the one that deserves more recognition? We have a lot of Sonic characters. How are we to determine who would actually waste their time to... Yes, I really did waste this much time. Appearances, cameos, mentions. Are they dead? Are they playable? Are they worth caring about? In an attempt to sabotage my main consensus, I stole everything from the Sonic fandom wiki and forged a spreadsheet that will determine which Sonic characters are the most applicable to appear in a new Sonic game. We have characters like Sir Connery the Horse from the Archie comics. What? At least Vanilla was in 3 games in comparison to other characters like That Thing and Shade the Echidna with only 1. You should know where I'm going with this by now. As for who and who isn't applicable is dictated by one determining factor. As if Sonic Universe canon isn't already super convoluted and ambiguous, but what truly dictates who is and isn't applicable is caused by one person, Ian Flynn. I'm forcing a lot of twists in this video and I'm hoping this one actually worked. Ian Flynn is some guy with the entire continuity and lore of Sonic by the strings. Say hello to Tangle the Lemur and Whisper the Wolf, 2 characters from the IDW comics that got the generous opportunity to be in the mobile spin-off game Sonic Forces Speed Battle. Playable comic characters that have a 3D model. And questionably canon or not, these were the first comic characters to be in a game since like Sonic Spinball? Freaking Sonic Chronicles? But that was only the start.
I bet Tangle would love climbing around these ruins.
If this man can make comic characters into mainline canon, just imagine what could be done with a character originating from the games. He, alongside unrelated Archie legal troubles, it gives a good insight on who has the potential to be in the next Sonic game. Here are the rules on screen. Another thing worth mentioning is that I filtered out characters that have appeared in the last 10 years to give more obscure results. There are also cope notes and things filtered out so the most obscure characters aren't automatically random 150 plus NPC characters that appear in Adventure 06 and Unleashed. Also some cope exclusions like mass-produced robots, animal collectibles with names, and characters with uncertain canonicity. So, who are the least utilized Sonic characters? Even if it's not vanilla, this seemed like a fun little thing to whip up and explore certain variables in arguably the most scuffed spreadsheet to walk on this earth. Editor's note. Hey, it's me again. I'm just here to say this is an old script. It was filled out and completed before Superstars came out. I believe I took into the account the release trailer and that was about it. Doesn't matter too much because it's like very old characters anyway, so in case you wanted a truly updated thing, there's that, but also there's like 1 or 2 characters that aren't valid on the list anymore. You'll know them. Okay, bye. And to the results, the top 5 most obscure characters are Hip and Hop from Sonic Spinball, Jet the Hawk's dad, someone who probably doesn't have a visual appearance in the game and it's uncertain if he's dead, Big Louie, an unseen character that the Chaotix are in financial debt to, Madonna, Sonic's original love interest and a scrapped character, and finally, La, that ghost girl from the Night of the Werehog short who has 0 game appearances, but just so happens to be linked enough through the help of other characters that makes her canon and viable. Dated, see? And you laughed, you giggled. In a revision with additional filters, they are Hip and Hop, Maid Robot, a robot dressed in a maid outfit seen on the Egg Carrier in Sonic Adventure, Heavy and Bomb, playable characters in Knuckles Chaotix, Hey Ho, some robot from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and finally, literally any character from Tails Adventure or Sky Patrol. Huh. Does this satisfy you? Doesn't for me. You wasted your time up until this point, so you should be equally upset. I've tried several exclusions to the formula to find something that can support Vanilla being the most obscure Sonic character, and obviously it didn't work. She was always close to the top 5, but when she makes it, there was always an unfairly restrictive formula, like I'm actually forcing her to be high on the list. For the fun of it, here are some formulas that are interesting. Top 5 most obscure recurring Sonic characters. Red Eye, a random boss that has surprisingly appeared more times than expected. Secretary, the president's secretary that got this spot due to her additional voice-only appearance in Shadow the Hedgehog. Commander Striker, who also had a minor appearance in Chronicles. I'm including that appearance as valid because it's not his origin. Professor Pickle, I don't know how he got here. And Jamerl. Nothing to say here, this one makes sense. A revision of this list that further excludes humans makes the top 5, Jamerl, Red Eye, King Boom Boo, this bastard snuck his way into Team Sonic Racing, the Shadow Androids, these guys show up more than necessary and are actually playable characters. And we finally scored as Vanilla the Rabbit makes it onto the list. Change the name of the video to The Peculiar Case of Sonic's Most Forgotten Reoccurring Sonic Character Excluding Humans, Dead People, AUs in the Past 10 Years, supported by my own bias. And why she needs a comeback. Jokes and exclusions aside, there's one formula that's interesting, and that's the top 3 most mentioned characters. That being Gerald Robotnik, Chaos, and Vanilla the Rabbit. Yes, the 3 most lore-significant characters to the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. I made it a top 3 list as Maria, Zik, Froggy, Shadow, and Tails are all tied. As a bonus, the top 5 most obscure playable Sonic characters. Heavy and Bomb, Shadow Android, Metal Knuckles, Honey the Cat, and the Black Knight cast. Characters that should have no chance of being in another Sonic game have appeared in another Sonic game. What the hell is this? With these cool as hell idiots having more game opportunities, it actually highlights the importance on Honey the Cat has only been in one obscure fighting game, and only officially made an appearance in the 2012 release. It's interesting. She's an interesting character with an interesting design that makes her a character worth bringing back. Tangle the Lemur is someone that is slowly being integrated into the video games, having a fun power and a personality that is worth being mentioned in Frontiers. These are both cool characters that have a reasonable excuse to show up in a new game. And that goes for everybody mentioned. They all have heaps of personality. Why should Vanilla the Rabbit be given the opportunity to be in a new game when there are characters that have been in less but have more to them? And to that, I say, I actually really want them all to be in a new Sonic game. That'd be really cool. I guess why Vanilla should be the one to have a comeback is because of something super simple, really. Characters from the classic era like Chaotix or Mighty and Ray, their return to a game is a pretty big deal. And then you look at Vanilla, a character in the turn of the modern era, an era that doesn't have the same marketable factor as the classic games. Nobody cares about the modern characters. The Sonic fans only give 2 shits about the resurgence of Battle Cuckoo 16. Vanilla is just vanilla. This is important because integrating her would be super easy. These characters need a lot more work into a new game appearance. Although it would be cool for Vanilla to get that same treatment. All that really needs to be done is for like Sonic walks into a house and Vanilla is there and Vanilla's like, "Oh hello Sonic, thanks for stopping by, blah blah blah, my daughter Cream, blah blah, fancy a cup of tea." Insert side quest or minor story beat. Doing this will utilize and flesh out a pre-existing character rather than causing the hassle of making a new character. By flesh out, I mean given an actual 3D model! Basically, what I'm saying here is that Sonic the Hedgehog is a very inclusive franchise, and it's really upsetting to see one of the only mother characters to be sidelined like this. We need all the hot MILFs that play Sonic games to be recognized and appreciated by having this hot MILF come back to the franchise. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my TED Talk. Tune in last Thursday when I